Hello and welcome back. This is I Seen You Before for the next episode of What Do We Know So Far About Dominions 5. In this episode I'll be talking a bit about the UI as well as some gaming options. Since the gaming option is pretty short, I'll just put it right there on the corner and then extend the UI and we'll talk a bit. So conservative casting is now saved with orders, that's great. There's also an asterisk to remember a mage has it. Let's go take a look out right there. Let's join maybe, what do I still have around here? Let's see this game. Probably have some mages in there. That's our old Shinuyama game, still lying around here. Anyways. If we come right over here, when we order mages, you can see conservative magic gem usage. When this happens, as you can read down there, no unscripted spells, the mage will not use magical gems if there's basically a bad army in front of him. But if you don't enable that, the mage will tend to be very liberal in the way he uses magic gems, and that can be very bad if he bursts everything on a bad battle. That's what people do in multiplayer. You send a first army to make them waste all their gems, then you send in your main army. So with conservative magic gem usage, there's a chance the mage won't burst all of his gems, and there'll still be some left over to cast the important spells such as flaming arrows. Anyways, that's one change that they made. The second change is the army setup screen. We already talked about that in the channel update. You guys can go and check it out. We can see that there's now the different leaderships, defense value, and total. Well, actually, I didn't know they have like defense and siege strength now. That's gonna be pretty interesting. But we already saw about supplies and the types of leaderships. Monthly casting and monthly forging are now options in the UI. That's one thing I think is good, because that's one thing a lot of people did not know about, even me, until Dominions 3. I think the hotkey is somewhere. No, it's not here right now. Yeah, you see O and M, monthly ritual spell and monthly forge item. If you just started Dominions, you have no clue how to cast this, because if you tell him there's no option cast ritual spell, there's no option to cast this over. Same thing with forge magic items. So you pretty much have to select him, do shift M to see cast monthly spell, or shift O to do forge monthly item. So I think overall that's gonna be a great change. That was definitely needed. That's gonna be more of just as a mechanic such as that will help reduce the micromanagement for some people. You can see unit lists, main swan and foreign recruits, and national spells in nation descriptions. I think that's a great change before you decide what the nation has. That's gonna be great for beginners. So remember from before, if we decide to create a pretender god for, let's say, Marignan, that's all they tell you. They don't really say what recruits you have or if you have foreign units, and that's one surprise for most people that played early age because it permits them to, you get different units in forests and swamps. That's very interesting. Same thing for early age armor. Early age armor gets I think pun defects and other things like those in provinces with just a temple and a lab. So a lot of people don't know about that, but the foreign recruit will now inform them. So I think that's a pretty informative change. That's great. Warning pop-up saying you can't group up mindless units with normal units. Okay, thanks for giving me a pop-up. I hope that's not gonna be too annoying, because I did manage late aid relay. Multiplayer messages can be edited. That's good, sorry. I'm talking maybe a bit too much. Hall of Fame shows heroic ability of every hero. So that's pretty interesting. You get to know who's in the Hall of Fame and what ability he has. Item boxes are now much more informative. Good to know. Good to know. Information is always good. Battle summary log track kills. Shows icons of units and flag icons. Battle log is more detailed. That's actually good. I have an example right there. So let's go back to the Shinuyama game. So this was what a battle log used to look like before. You can see up there, there's not much happening, right? Until he casts a spell. Like you can see the arrows happening. If you pause, go there and turn on detailed battle log, that's what you see, right? If you go and turn on very detailed battle log, you realize that the archers, one of them hit the black plate infantry, but we don't know which one it is, but that's the calculation that happened right there on the battle log. So now what they're gonna do is tell us, probably with a flag, that's Elm's unit, and give us more information. So that's great. That's gonna help people learn a bit more about how everything goes. If it's more detailed and includes penetration rolls, that's gonna be very interesting. We'll have a bit of an idea how penetration works. A dotted colored line indicates province connections. Color indicate road between province, green, normal connection, orange, yellow, mountain is red, fades to indicate passability, river is blue, inside yellow again fades, blue is underwater and to water provinces. So that's gonna clean up a lot of, you know, when it happens, you just look at the map, you're like, is all of this connected? Can I go there? How come I can go there in winter but I can't go there in summer? Now it's gonna be a bit more indicated. You see the yellow lines. Now it will have red lines to indicate mountains, if the mountains are passable. I don't know if there are any mountain passes around here. I don't think there are any. Yes, like those ones will be more, like, tell you a bit more precisely when you can go through them or not. That's gonna make a bit more sense. So I think that's a good change for people to get a basic gist of how the logistics works in Dominion. Spell list now showed gem cost and type, ritual or not, more clearly. Yeah, we've seen that in a couple of screenshots. That's gonna be great. We've seen that in the first channel update video. We can definitely see how many gems they cost this time, and that, I think that helps you instead of having to click on every, having to go like, basically having to go like, oh yeah, I want that, no, how much does that cost? It will just tell you how much it costs right over there. That's gonna be pretty useful. So magic sites show up as square icons on the map. Good, shows you which provinces have a magic site straight up, because I believe before what used to happen was that unless it's a throne or a specific province like those, you would not know if you have a magic site here or not. See, like over there I have 1, 2, 3 magic sites. It doesn't tell me. It'd be better, instead of having to go through the F1 screen looking over there for your magic sites, or having to go to them by hand. But less of some micromanagement. That's good. Even show thumbnail image of a location where it happened. That's also very handy. Instead of having to press M and go to commander every time, it's gonna tell you an event happened here. Reorganize battle order screen, so choose target is integrated in the same window. That's good. You don't have to hold an attack, then select. I think that's exactly what it means. Let's see. Before, we have to tell them to hold an attack and then fire enemy archers, okay? But if I change my mind, I'm like, wait, hold an attack the closest enemy. I have to go there again, click hold an attack, and then select closest enemy. Now it will be part of the order somewhere around there. That's gonna be a good change. Make micromanagement a tiny bit easier, so we're not gonna complain about this. You can see magic. You see magic pass while placing a mage in the battlefield. Editing the position in army setup. Okay, that's gonna be better for editing. So I think that's gonna be a lot of good UI changes. Hopefully, make the game flow a bit smoothly for everyone. Except, you know, most of us had to force ourselves to get use of it. We never said that we liked it. You can move squads in the position army box by right-clicking them without having to go to the previous screen. That's good. And commanders are rounded squares unlike normal square. Okay, good. Now we'll be able to differentiate commanders from having just a square, because it used to get really annoying. Insane commanders revert to previous order when they go sane again. That's okay, you don't need to rescript them all the time. New UI screen. Battle overview. Pressing F1 in the battle shows a list of every unit participating. It it can filter by unit type, nation, HP, fatigue points. Is it that fatigue points? Experience? There's also a status column, but not filterable. Status shows things like dead or stunned. Okay. Box army setup. You can see all the troops contained in a selected squad, and the map has lines indicating 25%, 50%, 75% distance in the x-axis. That's great. Now we have a better idea of what those boxes mean, because people just try to estimate. There's like, if you go on a few forums, you can know the range, but now it will tell you the range, so it will be way handier, because you know there are spells and stuff that have a like the range 30, but when you look at this, you kind of have no clue how much is 30, or you know that the longbowman has a range of 40. You just look at that, you're like, how much is how much? So some people actually did a lot of trial and error and found this out. You can probably find it on the Dumb3 Mods post. It's somewhere around there, but that will clean up a lot of things. Lastly, for the game options, you can have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 global spell slots. This means you can now select how many globals you want in a game. Before we were just limited to 5, now you can increase this number and you can set it up to your own discretion. That's a good change. There'll be more spots for globals, you get to see more, instead of people going for the optimal globals, I believe. You can set the default AI level for multiplayer games, that's good. When someone just builds, you can just default it to insane if you don't want people to just take over the provinces. Hall of Fame size is more configurable. You can adjust the size of the Hall of Fame more than just having I think 5, 10 or 15. You'll be able to have more than that. Story event setting options are off, minimal, full. I think that's gonna be really interesting. Gives a lot of flavor, especially for a few playthroughs. Like you get to learn a bit more about the lore of the nation and probably get a few special units based off them. Special site frequency customizable from 0 to 75. I think it was already there, but you just used to be able to just pick common magic sites. So now you'll be able to set an actual number for it. So I think that's great. The developers are deciding to give players a lot of control of how their game wants to be. The one question is like, how do we want to balance this when it comes to multiplayer? Because we don't really have a standardized multiplayer MLG league for Dominions anyways. So I think that covers this video and this episode on the UI and some of the game options that we have there. Next up will be, let's see, what is up next? We'll be talking about magic. Let me see what's in the magic. If I remember correctly, I do have a couple of spells here and there. Okay, that's quite a big one. We're gonna be looking at the old spells and the new ones. Probably use the help of Dumb Inspector for that. And we'll try to get magic and items in one video on the next episode. That being said, thank you for watching everyone, and we'll see you soon.